What's up, guys? You already know what time it is. It's time for another epic commentary from yours truly, Z fucking Mink. And I had to do this one live because this one was just like on the top of my head, and I had to talk to you guys about it because it makes a lot of sense. So, what I've noticed lately, in like for the past, I guess, couple years or so, is that people of all races are well. Let's just go with the main two races, black and white is the main two warring races in this country. But people are ashamed of their race and their ethnicity. So basically, let me give you an example. Have you ever heard somebody say, well, that nigga dark as shit? Or when they're outside, they're like, damn son, the sun's out, I'm not about to stay out here and get darker or some shit. And it's because what we as people have perceived is that the darker your skin, the worse it is to be you, or the fact that you're so-called uglier than a person who's light-skinned. And it kind of made sense to me that people, like black people, like, though we are all considered one giant race, to each other we still argue with each other on, our actual color of our skin, which makes no sense because light-skinned people automatically assume that because their skin is lighter that they automatically look better, and it's kind of like they fed into what people like Caucasians were feeding them, like feeding our people throughout like hundreds of years. Like, think about it. They white people back in the day, when there was still segregation and all that, basically they were trying to enforce on us that we were ugly because our skin was different from theirs. And I don't really like that. Not saying it's not saying it isn't, it's not true that, I guess some light-skinned people will look better than some dark-skinned people, but it's not necessarily just because of their skin, it's just about their facial features. So if you're ugly, then you're ugly, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so I'm not going to call anybody ugly. I don't believe there is any ugly person. There is going to be at least somebody who thinks that you're decent enough to get with them, or they might just choose you off your personality, not your looks. That happens a lot. But let me just switch. And also, it's weird when you see people claiming that have you ever heard the phrase Oreo, where they have apparently it's a black person who acts white, or apparently they'll like call like some like white people act black, they'll call them like M&Ms, or that's the how Eminem got his name, or they call them like inside out Oreos or some shit. Let me tell you guys this. There's no way to act a specific color. That's just us stereotyping each other even more, and it makes us worse and worse as a people as we get older. Because we assume that because people are like a certain skin tone that they're gonna act a certain way, and though we do it to ourselves, it's still bad because I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like I said, I'm doing this off the top of my head, but it's not smart to do that, because just because somebody has the same skin tone as you, you're not gonna go up to them and talk to them any type of way because you assume that they're a nigga, that they're gonna talk slang, they're gonna slur their words, they're gonna be sneakerheads, they love Jordans, they're gonna spend hundreds of dollars on shoes. I'm a clear example that's not always true. Although I will talk different around like my friends than I do like other people, like adults and stuff. But that's just me, man. I talk proper all day. That's because that's how I was raised. Like my dad's from Jamaica, and my mom is from Southeast DC, and that's the fucking hood. So if anybody should be talking black, it should be me, or like with any type of accent. But I found my way. My brother, on the other hand, he turned out completely different. He's an absolute example of a nigga. Anyway, guys, let me just get off this topic. Let me just close out with this. Don't be ashamed of your skin tone, and don't be ashamed of your race. You are who you are. Embrace yourself, and try to be your own person. Anyway, guys, this has been Z Mink, and I am out. Peace.